One more question,
Yeah.
just very brief. All my life, I've known things were going to happen ahead of time. Like when Trump threw his hat in the running deal, I said, well, he's going to be president. And everybody said, you are crazy. And well, I'm crazy, but I'm always accurate almost. Most of the time, I know what's going to happen ahead of time. And what's that about?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, you're not always accurate.
Oh, 95%. I could be wrong.
That's not really the point that we want to make. But the reason that it is a valid point to make is because you got to be ready 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 to be ready. So sometimes you'll be in a mode. You see, here's the thing. Are you accepting, we're asking all of you this, that you are an extension of source energy? Say yes, because that matters. And that life has caused you to create a vibrational reality that is in the process of turning into manifestations that others can see. So there is this vibrational reality that's a collective consciousness vortex. And so it is possible for you to tap into that which is your source energy and really understand what's going on in terms of this collective consciousness, especially if it's something that you're not that worried about, or maybe even not that interested in. You're not over here in the manifestation trying to make it happen. Esther's pretty sure that she can watch a football game that she really has no real interest in which team wins, and she can pick one. She always picks the one that's 20 points behind, and she can focus them into winning, and she just loves it. But she can't always do it. In fact, it's important to understand that one who's connected to the stream is more powerful than millions who are not. But you got to understand when you're in the receiving mode, and there's this fine balance about it, because if you get too interested, and then you get interested in being right, and then you get interested in being the one that predicts the future, and so now you're out here on this manifested edge, then often you're not in the right vibrational place. You see what we're getting at? So of course someone can psychically tap in and predict what's coming, because what has already manifested is old news, and what's in the vortex is what's in the process of becoming. And you can read energies. You can tell where the momentum is, and your logic can even, at an unconscious level, help you to understand what the likelihood of that unfolding is. We think it's a wonderful thing when you are active in your own life, a part of a bigger group of consciousness on the planet, minding your own business, which means tending to your own vibration and pushing against only enough to put more wonderful things in your vortex. And the thing that we most want to say to anyone who's worried about any of that, no matter which side of the conversation that they are sitting or standing on, we'd like them to remember that there is a much bigger game in town than politics. And that's life force. That's energy flowing. That's the energy that creates worlds. That's the resources that are never ending. And sometimes you get so fixated on what's happening that you lose your way from your true power, and then your power of influence is very scanty for a little while. And the trauma that you feel is not because of wrongdoing of other participants. The trauma that you feel is because you've lost your connection to your true power, you see. Well-being is something that is unfolded in a powerful way. And the more contrast that exists, then the more asking there is. And the more asking there is, then the more non-physical attention there is. And the more non-physical attention there is, then the more momentum of well-being there is. And the more momentum of well-being there is, the more you feel dissatisfaction if you're not lined up in that more powerful momentum of well-being. Never on your planet has there been a stronger stream of well-being flowing. So the potential to feel it and to personally know it and to personally tap into it is greater than it has ever been. But it's dicey because you've got your nose. We think you should call Facebook Nosebook. You jump over into the manifestation part of it and don't get yourself centered, and then you lose your way, and then you let the old news of what you're looking at divert you from the new news, which is new in every moment in this vortex, and then you don't feel satisfaction of life, and then you begin to make pronouncements that things aren't going well when they always are, you see. There are always those who thrive in difficult times, and there are always those who don't thrive in thriving times. It's about how you're managing your own energy. And that's the advantage that you and so many of you are to others. As you stand solid and unteetered, unwobbling, unaffected by events that are upending others, as you stand in that secure place, then you're in the receiving mode, and you'll find yourself rendezvousing. And we're not talking about having conversations that change other people's opinions. We're talking about doing for your world, doing for yourself, doing for your friends, doing for anyone who's in a place of wanting some healing of some kind, of doing what your inner being always does for you when you center yourself and quiet your mind enough to allow it. There is a big portion of your planet sleeping every single night. But there's a big portion of your planet not sleeping every single night. When those like you understand that this stream of well-being is flowing in greater abundance than it ever has before, and you get ready to be ready to be ready, so that then you begin to channel it, maybe not through your words or even through your actions, but through your knowing, you make the world a better place. And you can tell when you're doing that because you feel satisfied. Now, there are a whole lot of people who would say, oh, Abraham, that can't be right, because it's always those who see something that they don't like and get pushing against it. Isn't it the protesting masses that always make the difference in the change of things? And we say, no, that has never been true. The protesting masses, they're adding much more to the asking. And when something is added to the asking, then there's much more answering. But if there's not somebody getting ready to receive what's being asked and answered, then things don't get better for you or for anyone, you see. So the more you individually thrive because you know how to, that's how, through the clarity of your example, you uplift others. You're not going to teach them through your politics, or you're not going to teach them through your opinions. You're going to demonstrate through your joyful thriving. Yeah. Really good.
Thank you for having me. I am ready to be 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 super rich. Richer than rich. Filthy rich. Just so rich.
Good.
What do I need to do? I meditate. I'm ready.
It is our wish that you understand the contradiction in your own statement.
I do.
Because if you're ready to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready, here's a helpful answer to you. When you are ready to be ready to be ready, as you are, and we feel that readiness in terms of desire, and not much meditation will help you to be really ready in terms of vibration, then follow your impulses. You see, here's the thing, and we're happy that you've looped back around here in such a pointed way. If you're ready to be ready, we are so happy to get to say this to you right now, to all of you. If you're ready to be ready, then it's enough for right now. And then if you're ready to be ready, that too is satisfying. And the super rich thing over there isn't even in your mind, because that activates a crevasse of lack between what you've got and what you've got. So when you're really ready to be ready, then you say, oh, I'm having such satisfying feelings these days. Oh, I feel so good to be alive. Really good thoughts are coming to me. And as it gets closer and closer and closer to bursting into where money starts avalanching into your experience, those ideas will feel different than these ready to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. Do you have a format right now through which lots of dollars can flow?
Yes.
Do you have a business already in place?
Yes.
Is it a business that's already sort of established, and is there a steady cash flow from it?
Yes.
Is the cash flow steady enough that it doesn't take much for it to move into that place where you are feeling that a lot of money could come fast?
Yes.
Does it feel to you that you've already received the idea that will take it there?
Yes.
So not only are you ready to be ready to be ready, but you feel like you already have the idea to take it there? Are you a vibrational match enough to that idea? That idea is expanding into things that feel like the next logical step for you?
I don't know.
Yeah. you're ready to be ready to be ready. But here's the thing. You don't want to rush your readiness, because the desire to be cleanly rich.
I know. Beautifully rich.
Can you feel that there's a gap that's still there? There's an awareness that something hasn't happened that's still dominant. And in that wanting to get over that edge, there's some dissatisfaction that's keeping you from getting over the edge.
God, yes.
So it's about really feeling the satisfaction, feeling blessed with the idea, feeling so blessed that the idea came, feeling eager that the idea will flesh out, feeling eager that the idea will blossom into something that feels like an action ready to take. It must be really annoying to anyone who's ready to jump into action to listen to all of this theoretical conversation about laws of the universe and vortexes that you can't see or hear or smell or taste or touch. You've got to find some way that this conversation is satisfying before it can morph into the explosion of what you're talking about.
I see.
You see, dollars that flow, they're just evidence of the vibrational currency that you've got going on. It's just the next logical step. But most people have practiced lack of dollars, lack of dollars, lack of dollars, so they'll allow abundance of vitality or abundance of invigoration or abundance of friendships or abundance of love. They'll allow abundance of sunsets. They'll get so good that they'll catch every sunset every single time. There are so many people that will allow abundance of one thing and another, just not abundance of money yet, because they've practiced the thought of not enough money so much. They've been close on making their payments and worried about money, and they've been measuring money with action and how much do you get per hour and what's your salary and what's your talent worth and how much can you perform and why has your performance earned more money than that performance. People are all wadded up out here in the manifestations of money, and if you would just step back from those manifestations of money and talk about energy, which means talk about satisfaction. You want to be filthy rich with enthusiasm, filthy rich with happiness, filthy rich with satisfaction. I'm so rich with really good ideas. I'm so rich with happiness when I wake up in the morning. That's what you've got to be ready for. And when you get there so that you feel that way, no matter what the state of money is, then the state of money must match the state of vibration. It's law. What happens to most people is that their vibration matches their state of money, because they just keep looking at it and talking about it and measuring it and complaining it and worrying about it and trying to take action and being unproductive in it and eking through it and asking somebody else. Government, give me money. Mother and dad, give me money. Lawsuit, give me money. Give me this big pile of money. And if you don't have a big pile of money, you're not ready. You're not vibrationally ready for a big pile of money if you don't have a big pile of money. If you were ready for a big pile of money, you'd have a big pile of money. But if you're not ready for a big pile of money, you can't let the big pile of money in. And we got to tell you, there are big piles of money. It is raining. The world is awash in money. You've been hearing about it. Aren't you just bowled over by how much money some of those people have? And how do you feel about them bastards? Why should they have all of that money? They should put it in a big pot and we should divvy it all out. And if you did, it wouldn't take 10 years before the money would be right back where it is. You see, you got to be ready for money. You got to be ready for money, which means you got to be happy without it. Which means you've got to be cashing in your vibrational chips. You got to be thankful for this day and thankful for this chair and thankful for this opportunity and thankful for this conversation and thankful for that sunshine and for those highways. Thankful for this, appreciating of that. Thankful for the quieted mind. Thankful for the insight. Thankful for the enthusiasm. Thankful for the love in my heart. Thankful for that precious face. Thankful for this person I've never met in my life and on the elevator had such a nice exchange with not even any words because there was a language barrier, but oh my God, how good it was to meet you. Thankful, 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 thankful. Thankful just brings more and more and more and more and more. And argumentative doesn't.
It's great.
It is.
Thank you.
Really good conversation.
Thank you.